Hey guys, Jeff here at Fat Kids Barbecue. How you doing tonight? So tonight we got a real easy cook going. We're going to be doing a chicken Marsala. We got the Carrabbas Italian Grill cookbook out and we're going to use their Marsala wine sauce. It's going to be a mushroom Marsala wine. So what we're doing is we're going to take our pork chop here. We had a nice thick one of these porterhouse pork chops. We're going to douse it in a little bit of the pork and poultry by Traeger. So we'll put that rub on there. Probably going to put a little bit of black pepper on there too. So it is important when you're putting your rub on, rub all sides of the pork. You're going to eat all sides of it, so may as well get it all ready for you. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good amount of rub on our pork. So I brought out some extra virgin olive oil. I was going to use that as a binder on there, but this chop is a little bit moist, so it doesn't really need a binder. We're going to cook this to about medium well. Pork chops you can cook medium well. They don't have to be cooked white all the way through any longer. So I like to do medium well. It gives you a nice moist pork chop, and it's still a little bit on the pinker side by the bone. So with that being said, we got the Traeger warmed up. The Traeger's at 350 degrees, where this is going to be a real quick cook tonight. Alright, so the Traeger warmed up. I actually had it set at 400. So we've got it really nice and hot. Again, we're cooking with the we're cooking tonight with the apple wood, the apple pellets. So this thing should cook pretty quick. I don't know if you can hear it sizzling, but it sounds amazing. So we'll let this guy cook for a few minutes and we'll come back and check on it. Alright guys, so we're back. We're starting up our Marsala sauce. So we got our mushrooms going. Don't be afraid to buy the pre-cut, pre-sliced ones. You can see that's what I did here. Why not make your life a little bit easier? We're actually not in a restaurant, we're in our house. So we're gonna saute these guys. We got about just a little bit of butter going in the pan. You know, I even put some of this country crock in there because I was a little bit short. So we'll flip that around a little bit. We'll get the mushrooms going. Don't be afraid to look at your cookbook either. You know, we're amateur cooks here. Let's have some fun with what we're doing. It's all about what we like and what we want to eat. So we got the mushrooms going. We're going to let those brown and cook for probably about 2 minutes. I like to add a little bit of ground pepper to them and some ground salt. Give them a nice little flavor. While that's cooking, we'll get our onion ready for the recipe. It's getting a little hot over here, so we'll turn that pan down. So I'm not a big fan of onion, but you do need some of it for flavor. So we'll just dice that up nice and small. And it's important to be careful when you're using a knife. Don't hurt yourself. So we'll put that onion in there. So we're going to saute that up for a little bit. We want the onions to get translucent and almost disappear. You notice how fine I chopped them. We'll let that go for just a little more. So this recipe also calls for some flour. So that smells pretty good. So I did use a Vidalia onion. I like the sweeter onion. The recipe calls for a yellow onion. I just happen to prefer the Vidalia. We're going to use a tablespoon of flour. And that'll help get our roux going. We'll mix that all together. That helps thicken up the sauce. Once you put the, we're going to put some chicken stock in there. Last weekend I cooked a whole chicken. Well, I took the carcass and I made the carcass into this chicken stock. So we'll put that in. And then we're going to put in 3/4 of a cup of dry Marsala. We're going to crank that heat up. We'll crank that heat up. We'll stir that up a little bit. And there's our Marsala. So we'll just let this sit and simmer, and it'll cook down. It won't be as liquidy. And then when it comes time to put this on top of the steak, on the pork chop, excuse me, it's going to be phenomenal. All right, so we're outside. I figured we'd come out and check on the pork chop. It's looking pretty good in there. So get yourself one of these digital read thermometers. It makes your life a lot easier. Stick it right in there. We want to hit this to about 165, 170, and it's cranking up right now. We're at 161.2, so that's looking pretty good. So we'll let this go for just a couple more minutes, and then we'll take it off and we'll bring it in and marry it up with that beautiful Marsala wine sauce. That's looking beautiful. Alright guys, so we're back inside the kitchen, and as you can see we brought the pork chop in. It's looking absolutely beautiful. We did cook up some Uncle Ben's brown rice. Don't know if I can call it Uncle Ben's anymore, but we cooked up some brown rice. And now we're going to take our Marsala sauce that we prepared earlier, and we're just going to put a nice little amount on top of our pork chop. Now you have yourself a beautiful dinner. This took me 30 minutes to cook. All of this on a Thursday night. Anybody can do it, guys. You can eat what you want. Enjoy your dinner. If you like what you see, please check like down below and subscribe to the channel.